Supreme and Yohji Yamamoto are collaborating for week 4, releasing this Thursday, September 17th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can calculate what time that will be for you. And as far as the collection goes, it is pretty big. This is a big collaboration. We got a lot of pieces. And this is kind of what I want to see from collaborations or Supreme collaborations. It's kind of what they used to do a lot in the past, though. Recently, it seems their collaborations are getting a lot smaller. This is a big collection, and this is kind of what I like to see. So like I said, the collaboration is with Yohji Yamamoto, probably butchering that name, but he's well known for his work with Adidas and their Y3 line. Supreme has a big write-up about him, talking about how he uses like baggy fit off the runway and kind of like pushes this style, and we will see that with a lot of their pieces, and for that reason we will actually look at the lookbook as well, just to kind of showcase that, because I felt in the actual like product images it doesn't really show that off as well, so we will be looking at that too. With that being said, let's get into the collection, and if you guys see me looking down here, I'm just looking at my laptop, which has whatever you guys will also be seeing on the screen as well. So to start things off, we have this kind of like title card, Supreme Yohji Yamamoto spell out leather jacket. Interestingly enough, this is actually a leather work jacket, so that kind of gives you an idea of what the cut is going to be on the piece itself. Apart from that, we have this kind of like smiley face of sorts almost, and then a graffiti Supreme spell out, and then also a graffiti of sorts signature from Yohji Yamamoto, although this is a lot more neat and doesn't like bleed as much as the Supreme spell out. And this style of branding really reminds me of the Supreme Jean-Paul Gaultier collaboration, I believe it was a while back, where they had the spray paint over the like stencil aesthetic. I think this is kind of similar, but flipping it around, you know, you get a look, and this is a leather work jacket, and it does have a very loose fit. As far as the piece itself goes, you know, I'm not crazy about a lot of leather pieces. Whenever we look at the lookbooks and ranges, I'll kind of like hate on the leather pieces, and this, you know, it kind of falls in line. It's hard for me to vibe with a leather jacket unless it's kind of, I don't know, maybe like a biker jacket I kind of like, which is also, you know, contradicts with what Supreme said Yohji Yamamoto is well known for with the loose fit. I feel the biker jackets are more commonly tighter fit. Anyway, moving forward, we get the other colorway for this jacket. It also comes in this red color, which isn't really like a bright red, and I really don't care for this colorway, because if you look at the Supreme branding, they also went with red again, and it just really doesn't stand out well against this background or this colorway. For that reason, I'm out. Moving on, we have the suit, which is, you know, I've never really been a fan of the Supreme suits. I really don't see a need for it, but, you know, just looking at the trousers for this, you can tell it's super baggy. Flop it around though, and you have this big square graphic on it, which I think particularly put on this silhouette, this piece, this suit, this blazer. I don't think it belongs there. I think it's strange branding. You know, you think of a suit, you kind of think more like neat designs, and this is just definitely a graphic tee design. This will actually, we will see on a graphic tee if we have not already, or at least on some other shirt, I believe. But yeah, just not a fan of the top. We will see the bottoms a little bit different later. But moving forward, we also have this puffer jacket, which on the back, once again, we get the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto spell out. And you know, this is used all over the collection. We saw before this one. They also have it on a crew neck. Anyway, we don't have to talk about this image too much, because what I wanted to show off with the lookbook pictures is the fit of them, which this one really needs to be talked about, because this is a parka, and I don't know, the fit just looks weird for me in this one. It's super baggy and like drapey. It doesn't really have any structure, which isn't necessarily bad to have like a warm weather parka. You know, it's a thing, it's a vibe. They have some cool ones. Just how like kind of drapey this one is, it's strange. I don't really like the cut of it in certain places. I think we get a back view here where it's just really baggy, and I don't know, I just think the cut of it is so strange. Anyway, that's really all the pieces I wanted to show off from the lookbook to just kind of give a better idea of the fit of them. So we will move on to the official product images. This time we have the Yohji Yamamoto leather work jacket, once again like we saw before. Flop it around, we get that big spray paint graphic on the back. And you know, if this was like a canvas work jacket, or you know, like a normal material of a work jacket similar to that of like a Carhartt, you know, canvas work jacket, I'd probably like it. Just with the leather, you're gonna get this huge, like really high price point, and then also just as a material, I'm not crazy about it on a lot of pieces, so this is a no for me, though I do like the design. Like, this is fine. Next up, we have the suit jacket, or the blazer, the suit set really. On the back it features this game over graphic, which, like I said, it looks like it belongs on a graphic tee, not like the back of a suit jacket. It's just kind of out of place. Maybe if they put it small on the chest, or I'm not really sure. Definitely the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto spell out would have been more like kind of characteristic of a piece of this nature to actually go on it. Maybe if they had that like embroidered on the chest and like some gold or something to kind of put a flip on it, or if they just really put it across the back, I think that would belong better than this game over graphic does. But as I said, with this suit, we also have the bottoms, which are showcased here, or the trousers. They're calling them the suit pant, I guess. Very baggy. Interestingly enough, it has like a drawstring, which is kind of strange for suit pants. Flip it around, we get a brief look at the full set, and on the back it looks like they have this tab or this patch similar to like a Carhartt patch, where I think it says Supreme and then has that signature spell out as well, which is kind of like something more along the lines of what I would have kind of expected for this piece or this suit set. Like on the blazer as well, it kind of would have been more fitting to put that patch on the chest as well rather than that graphic on the back. I don't know. Then moving on, we have the parka, which, laid out like this, just flat, it looks like a freaking tarp. This thing looks huge. I'm not crazy about the graphic on the front, but it doesn't bother me too much to stray away from this piece. Kind of what ruins the piece for me is the actual cut of the parka. Like how it lays on somebody's body, like we saw in the lookbook, just looks too weird. I think if they went with a fishtail, we've seen Supreme do fishtail parkas before, it would have looked a lot better, just like how those drape with that center cut up the back. I like that a little bit more. It's more appealing to me rather than this like boxy and super baggy parka. Anyway, you got that coming in 2 colorways. You also have the black and red one, which maybe I like the black and red one a little bit more. I'm not really sure. Or the black and white, I guess, with the red branding. And that moves us on to my favorite piece of the collection. This is a beautiful knit sweater. Supreme has very nice knit sweaters. I have one, so I've got a little bit of experience with it, but this just features a beautiful, I don't want to guess what kind of flower that is. Anyway, we have the Yamamoto and Supreme spell out on top, and then below it has French maybe, where it says Pour Homme. Don't know what that means, probably pronounced it incorrectly as well, but I think this looks beautiful and definitely reminds me of the Comme des Garçons collaboration we saw a couple years ago, a couple seasons ago, where they had like that tan sweatshirt which had the Comme spell out as well. But I really like this. I think this is a nice piece and probably my favorite from the collaboration. You also get this little tab on the top, on the back of the sweater. That only comes in that one colorway. Moving on, we also have these like Oxford shirts, or these button-ups, where on the back we're going to get similar to how we had on the suit blazer. You get this big graphic. This one says, "This was tomorrow," and it's a picture of a flower. It's a nice graphic, but I don't know, I think there's cooler things that you can put on the back, where these graphics really don't hold a lot of value for me, I guess. I think they're more just kind of appropriate for graphic tees or something that's like, something cheap to just throw it on, where like these are low effort graphics, so they should be put on low effort pieces such as graphic tees, in my opinion. Anyway, moving on, we have the puffer jackets, which I always say this, I don't like puffer coats. This is a pass for me, but I guess this white colorway is decent. It doesn't look like the spray paint kind of nature of the spellouts doesn't look like it bleeds too much, or that like bleed aspect of it is kind of lessened with that white colorway, so I do like that colorway. The black one is all right, but that green one I'm not feeling at all. Moving on, we have the hoodies, which feature this all over print and has a smiley face similar to the one we saw in that first jacket. It's actually probably somewhere in here. Maybe that top left one is that one. I don't know, these faces remind me of the drawings from Sinister. They look very low effort. It looks like something a demented little kid would be drawn all over, and the teacher would bring up with the parents and be like, yo, we need to talk. But this piece, I guess, isn't that bad. You got the branding like we've seen on everything going down the sleeve, which is kind of interesting. I'm glad they only put it on one sleeve and not both. Just probably a little too repetitive at that point. But in terms of the all-over graphic, I'm just not crazy about it. We do get it in a couple different colorways. Particularly interesting, we get this pink or magenta and just bright orange colorway front and center. You guys can see it, and that one is interesting, but I don't really think it fits the vibe with everything else that's going on. And they also probably should have changed the color of the Supreme Spello, because of that red just blends and doesn't stand out as much as it probably should. But moving on, we have the just classic crew neck, which features the Supreme Yohji Yamamoto branding, and like I said before, this is fine. I would have liked to see like something just like this on maybe that suit blazer, but yeah, not a bad piece. I think it comes in a couple different colorways. We get that army green, a white colorway, and then as well as an orange. And I'm not crazy about the green one, I'm not crazy about the orange, just because the red looks a little strange on everything, but that black colorway, and then also the white colorway, though I would avoid the white colorway just because the price of the piece, and I don't know if you got it dirty, but aesthetically the black colorway and the white colorway are decent. Anyway, moving forward, we have the graphic tees. First up is the Scribble Portrait Tee, which appears to have some kind of like detective or a dude wearing a hat kneeling down beside a dog, I want to say, and petting it. And we see this scribble style used a lot by brands like Revenge, where they're going for this more grunge aesthetic, though I will say just how this is laid out, it kind of looks a little too clean. It's definitely more of like an artistic approach than kind of like the grunge one that the brands I just mentioned will take. Next up, we have another scribbled tee. This is the Scribble Wolf Tee, which has this wolf just kind of looking sideways, which really reminds me of, I think, the Save Me Revenge tee, where it has X with like the halo or whatever. But once again, this piece feels a little bit more artistic than that of like Revenge stuff, just because I don't know, maybe the lines and the detailing put into this piece is kind of, you know, more artistic. You know, you can definitely see what's going on here, and it doesn't, I don't know, feel maybe as grunge more than just it really is this scribble or sketched style. And I also think that they should have put this stuff on the back of those button-up shirts. Not necessarily saying they're bad on these t-shirts or these designs on the shirts are bad, but I think they would have belonged a lot better on those. If you had that like embroidered on the back, that would have been a lot cooler and made those pieces a lot better, because right now I don't think those button-ups really have many positive aspects to them, I guess. But moving on, we have some more graphic t-shirts, and then this is just going to be kind of what we saw before. This is the game over. You have a car. Looks like the saturation's cranked all the way up like it's a deep fried meme or something. But moving forward, we also have this other graphic that we saw before, and then we get the Supreme Spello with the collaboration, the Yohji Yamamoto Spello as well. I think these are good pieces. They're basic, but they definitely capture the collaboration as a whole. You know, we have this put on pretty much all the pieces, and I think this is probably one of the best things to go for resale. If the collaboration does resell well, which I feel like it will have a decent amount of resale, this will probably be one of the better pieces to go for, just because it will be cheaper and you can get a high markup on that. And to wrap up the collaboration, we have these beanies, which just feature the brand spellouts on it, which I think, they're all right. I'm not crazy about that army green or orange colorway. I will say, kind of interesting that they didn't include the white colorway, which, was paired with a lot of these other colorways in previous items. But like I said, that is the end of the collaboration. I think this is a good collaboration. Maybe not necessarily for me, though I respect a lot of these designs. I like a lot of these designs, just some of the stuff isn't really stuff that I would wear. But, these are the collaborations that I want to see Supreme doing. I feel like for a long time they've been lacking, and they haven't really been putting out collaborations that hit as hard as they once did a couple of years ago. But this is in line with the stuff that they used to release, and I think this is a good collaboration. I believe it will have some decent resale as well. Also, as of shooting this, the full drop list has not been released, though if it does, I will put it up here right now and put like a little comment of what I think about it on the screen. That's really all I've got for you guys, though. As always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.